At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners and Humana. News 46 is also brought to you by Affiliated Chiropractic and Affiliated Physical Therapy. Come in for your free consultation. Call 775-727-8900. Our goal is to create the individual treatment plan that will restore your health and end pain.
Tonight on News 46, firefighters speak out about the explosion at Amerigas.
And part 2 with Yvonne Parron, mother of murder victim Christopher Mundy.
And a huge development on the California-Nevada border. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Rick Vale and Rhonda Van Winkle. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell and news across Nevada with Janet Eric. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, August 23rd, 2011. I'm Rick Vale.
And I'm Chase Shropshire, in for Rhonda Van Winkle tonight. Topping our news tonight, after the explosion at Amerigas, many have been wondering how close we were to a major catastrophe. We spoke to the actual firefighters who were on the scene at the incident that occurred last Tuesday night.
When we first got there, I gave a report of a large commercial building, nothing showing from the exterior, because you couldn't see anything at the front entrance. So I staged the apparatus. Nate and I got out. We walked around to what we call Division B, which is the left side of the structure going clockwise. And we heard it before we could see it, and we heard the hissing and the popping noise and stuff like that. And then we went around, we could see the fire with the sprinkler system activation. And then we just saw the large fireball. It was hard to see exactly what was on fire because there was multiple pallets full of the 20-pound cylinders. So all we saw is a fire. So then we placed engine 4 at Division AB, hooked up the hydrant. Nate got the hydrant. We hooked up the FDC, the fire department connection, to supply the sprinkler system. We deployed 2 inch 3/4 hand lines, and then Nate and the couple other guys got the ground monitor, which is 5-inch large master stream, and then I wanted to put a large amount of water onto the fire. It was kind of frustrating because I didn't know if we had a main line coming from the 30,000 gallon tank feeding the fire, or if it was multiple vessels, which is the 20-pound cylinders, or if it was both. So it was really hard to see exactly what was on fire at the beginning.
So was it in fact the main line, or was it just the 20-pound vessels?
Everybody's saying that it wasn't the main line, it was just the pallets of the 20-pound cylinders. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. So.
Because those are right around the same area, because they're filling up these tanks. They're refurbishing them and refilling them. Nate, tell me a little about your experience there. There's a lot of fear, a lot of trying to get some kind of coordination of fighting this fire. You guys are very well trained. You know what to do. And we were talking to Moody here a little while ago about how you had to block it from going into the exterior as well.
Yes, something like that. It's pretty intense when you have a bunch of propane bottles going off, and but once you get there and you get your job and your task, you have your goals set, so you kind of focus on getting that done instead of what could happen, because you don't want to sit there and you'll get caught with your pants down. So as long as you keep your mind focused on your task and your goals, and get one thing done at a time, don't try to get too many things at once, and you'll be okay.
Is there a different type of training that is involved in fighting a propane fire?
It's your strategies and tactics are a little different than a regular structure fire. It's a stick built, something like that. Your main goal is to cool the bottles as best you can, keep from more heating up and exploding. Your first objective is to cut the fuel line and cut off the supply.
Part 2 of this story with Steve Moody and Nate Alexander will be on tomorrow night's newscast.
And folks, a magnitude 5.9 earthquake struck Virginia at about 1:50 p.m. today. Tremors were felt in New York, Massachusetts, Ohio, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. In New York City, some buildings were evacuated and residents were asked to leave their apartment buildings. The Associated Press reported that the Pentagon was also being evacuated. The only damage reported was at the Washington Cathedral, where a 5 to 8 foot spire broke off and crumbled to the ground.
We continue our conversation with the mother of murder victim, Christopher Mundy.
How is the rest of your children doing? I know your husband is obviously having a lot of issues with this. How are you doing? Give us a status on. I can't even imagine what you must be going through.
I feel empty. I feel hurt. I don't know what to do. Out of my 8 kids, he was the only one that would go shopping with me. Mom, you want to go shopping? Mom, you want to go eat? He was, because, teenagers want to go do that thing, but he was like, Mom, you want to go eat? Mom, you want to go shopping? Oh, yeah, let's go.
So he was your buddy?
He was my buddy.
He was your second born, too, as well.
Yes, he was. And when he was little, he looked like Curious George. So we used to call him Monkey, 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 because he was, he was willing to try everything.
Yeah.
He was my dopey one. He was my dopey one.
What a beautiful life. What a beautiful relationship that you guys had, and such a tragic end.
He was never bored. He had 8 brothers and sisters. 8 brothers and sisters, He was never born. He always shared. He never knew not to share, And sometimes he would tell me, one of these days I'm going to leave. I go, when you're ready, But even when he left, he came home all the time. He was with his brother Scott all the time,
So tell me the 14-year-old that was with him in the car that they're mentioning.
Oh, Pablo, he's a good little boy.
And that was his friend?
His best friend's brother. Yeah, he was there. He went there. I guess Pablo went for the ride, My son didn't think nothing of it,
Yeah. He went over there to retrieve items.
That's all. He didn't think nothing. If he would have known that he was in danger, he would not take that little boy.
Yeah.
He would have been gone.
How is Pablo doing?
He's doing fine. I saw him yesterday. He's doing fine.
How's he doing after seeing what he saw?
I really don't know, but, it's hard. I know I feel so bad for him because he's too young to see this. His innocence.
Did you ever have any clue that the father was as angry or as hostile as he was about this relationship?
Oh, it was a new relationship. No, I told him it's okay. Dads are like that. He'll eventually get over it, or you need to talk to him like a man. Tell him you love her, you want to be with her. Never.
Tomorrow's broadcast will feature part 3 of our conversation with Yvonne Parron. If you would like to assist the Mundy family during this difficult time, call 702-588-3051. The viewing for Christopher Mundy will be held at the Parron Family Mortuary at 5441 Vicky Ann Road on Saturday the 27th at 10 a.m. The funeral services will be held Sunday, August 28th at 3 p.m. at Shadow Mountain Christian Fellowship. The public is invited to attend.
And 53-year-old murder suspect Daniel Robbins is expected to be arraigned in Judge Kent Jasperson's courtroom on Thursday. He has not been formally charged for the murder of 21-year-old Christopher Mundy as of yet. Robbins is accused of shooting the young man in the head and killing him last Thursday morning after going to the residence on Benson Street to retrieve his girlfriend's belongings.
Coming up, the Miss Senior Nye County pageant begins tomorrow.
And a new facility is being constructed with promise of new jobs. We'll have all this and more right after the break, so please keep it here.
News 46 is brought to you by News is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Their healthcare center is now open in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine.
Former hero David Neil Taylor has been in court the past week facing charges of attempted murder for throwing a rock through the windshield of an oncoming vehicle some months ago.
The 23-year-old man has pleaded guilty in his case. David Neil Taylor, who first came into view as a hero by attempting to rescue the 4 victims of the Broadhead fire on Prospector on February 9th of this year, in which all lost their lives. News 46 interviewed him that day about the fire. Just 5 days later, Mr. Taylor was named as a suspect on an attempted murder case involving substantial bodily injury to a 20-year-old woman whom he dated. He was located in Oregon after fleeing a warrant issued for his arrest for attempted murder. Last week, David Taylor pleaded guilty to attempted murder causing substantial bodily injury to the woman who he hit with a large rock that was thrown through her windshield of her vehicle at the convenience store at the intersection of Highway 372 and Blagg. The young woman was then airlifted to UMC Trauma Center with head injuries. Reportedly, they are permanent. His sentence will be handed down on November 14th, which carries a 2 to 20-year sentence. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
A large facility is under construction which promises to bring new jobs, visitors, and beauty to our area. Its scheduled completion date won't be for 2 years, but this landmark facility looks like it will be a big bonus for our local economy.
We're here about 8 miles east of Highway 160 near the Tacopa turnoff between Tacopa and Highway 160, where a 17-acre facility is being built called the Therese Mission. This facility is going to house a restaurant, a chapel, columbariums, facilities to have weddings as well as funeral services and all types of parties, and a visitor center. We're going to speak to the architect, Dr. Robert Fielding, who is actually the architect for the town of Mesquite. He's redesigning Henderson, and he also designed UNLV. And the president of Magnificent Ventures, Randy Duzon.
We're just getting started, and most of the work that's going on across the site now is dealing with underground and the preparation of the site for construction that will probably start general construction in maybe a month or 45 days.
Wow. This is really exciting, Randy, because not only are these plans and what we're going to be having here, give a quick run through of what we're looking at this facility.
Well, it'll be a combination of things. It'll be a center for environmental, cultural, and religious events. We'll have a restaurant on site, as well as a visitor center, which will house different types of exhibits depending on the time of year. So we'll have both cultural exhibits, environmental exhibits, and others. So that will be in the front of the project. The back is where the chapel will be and the columbarium niches, such as this behind us. This is where the prayer, meditation, solace will be. So it'll be a combination of all these things. And it will be in this 17.5-acre property, which will be a LEED Platinum building as designed by Dr. Bob. So it'll be the greenest of the green. It's as green as a project can be. And we wanted this to be an icon for green building here in the Mojave Desert.
And I know that Dr. Bob is the architect here. And
Yes.
Tell me what that's like and how proud that must be to have such a green facility.
Oh, these have been the greatest clients in the world to have. And, you know, they're doing it for all of the right reasons. This is probably the most sustainable project in southern Nevada as well as here in southeastern California, because we're just inside the California border, across from the old Spanish Trail Highway. And what we're going to be doing here is that we're going to be growing all of our own vegetables for food. That'll be served over in the restaurant that will be built in the second phase, starting in about 8 or 9 months. And we also have a tree farm, so we're going to be growing all the trees and plants that'll be going here on the site. We've worked out an arrangement with Southern California Edison. They're friends of ours in this project, and we can operate this, the whole entire 17.5 acres off-grid if we desire to, but we're helping Inyo County in Southern California Edison by generating electricity that they can transfer and use in other locations.
And you can see part 2 of this news story on tomorrow night's newscast. The Miss Senior Nye County pageant begins tomorrow at the South Point Hotel. We spoke to 3 local beauties to get all the info.
We are going to be in the Nevada State Pageant, Miss Senior Nevada State Pageant, August 24th, which is 1 week from today.
Wonderful. Where's this going to be at?
South Point Casino at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
All 3 of you are competing for the title?
Yes, we are. Yes, and what we'd like to do is let people know that the pageant is sold out, but they are going to have a kind of an overflow capacity type thing in the Grandview Lounge where they're going to put the pageant up on the big screen TV.
Wow.
So we want everyone to come.
Everybody from Pahrump come and support our local contestants. Tell me, how many contestants do we have total?
So far we have 14.
Wow.
Right.
And that's through the whole pageant or just in Nye County?
No, this is through the entire state of Nevada.
Wow.
We've already done the Miss Senior Nye County pageant, so we're the Nye County representatives. So
And so 14 are going to be competing for the title of?
Miss Senior Nevada.
This is great. So a little bit about what you are preparing for the pageant.
What do you mean preparing for?
Like, do you have routines that you guys have worked out, and a little bit about how you prep for a pageant like this?
Well, we have an opening number that we're all doing, so we've been practicing or rehearsing for about the last 8 weeks. So it's really a variety type show where we get out, we do an opening number, they have various dance teams and entertainers, and then each of us has a talent that we do. So we actually serve as part of the entertainment.
I know we have Carol Fucillo here. Tell me, what is your talent? What are you going to be doing at the pageant?
I'm a dancer, and I will be doing that.
And Terry?
I'm going to play the steel pan drums and do a dance.
And Linda?
I'm doing a dance.
Wonderful. Do you work with the other contestants that are also competing from other areas?
No, we don't. The only thing that we work with them on is the opening number.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
going to
we
be
don't know
fabulous.
what anyone else is really doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you been working with them on the open number right now?
Yes, we've been working tomorrow's our last day, so it will be 8 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is going to be something to see. So at the South Point, if people want to still go, there's an overflow that they can go to, and we can't wait to see how you guys do.
Wonderful. We'd love to have everybody come out and support us. We already have a lot of support from Pahrump, and we're real excited about that. So get anybody else who doesn't have a ticket, you can still come.
Wonderful. And what's the time and the date once again?
August 24th at the South Point Casino at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But get there early if you're going to come.
And Tanya Brum tells us about how you can apply for the Electa Hewitt Award.
Certainly. This is a new award that is being offered by Seroptimus International Pahrump Valley. The award is called the Electa Hewitt Award. It's in honor of a Seroptimus sister who passed away last year in November, and she was the mother of a special needs son. And she had many challenges in raising her son, but she raised him with humor and love, and we wanted to remember her with this award. Also, it's inspired by an organization, a fledgling organization that is being organized. It's the Pahrump Disabilities Outreach Program. We had a speaker, Paula Cooper, who came to one of our meetings and told us about the challenges. She is the mother of an autistic child, and she had many, many challenges trying to find services with almost non-existent services within Pahrump County, very few services, within the town of Pahrump, very few services within the county of Nye, and not very many even within the state of Nevada. So she inspired us, along with the fact that we wanted to memorialize our sister, Electa Hewitt, with this award. It's being offered to mothers or female primary caregivers of children, either a child or children with special needs.
And how can people find out about getting this award, or how does the nomination process work, and those kind of things?
We have an application form. The application can be picked up at CC's Beauty Shop. It can be picked up at the Chamber of Commerce, at Nye County Coalition. And the process is that the mother or female primary caregiver of the child needs to write an essay, 750 to 1,000 words. The topic would be the joys and challenges of raising a child with special needs. Part of the process is that we want to bring this essay to the community to make the community more fully aware of the challenges that these parents are having. Our community does a lot for the children that are in our community, but we think that this is one aspect of our children that is being ignored, and we wanted to bring it forward.
So Chase, you had an interesting drive into town today?
I did, yeah, and this is in regards to the weather. And the only word that comes to mind when I'm thinking about the weather is heat, and it was hot. And at the worst possible time, it seems that's how life works. I was driving out here and my AC completely failed, so I was hanging my head out the window like a dog the whole way here. So yeah, it was pretty interesting.
Well, these triple-digit temperatures did kind of come at us when we didn't really want them, but it looks like, according to what I hear, we got a lot more of them around the bend. Don't go anywhere. We'll have Zach Fuentes with your 7-day forecast right after the break.
News 46 weather is brought to you by Healthcare Partners Medical Group, with 5 locations in Pahrump. Local doctors and professional staff providing total care from infancy to seniors. News 46 weather is also brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org.
Welcome back to News 46. I'm Zach Fuentes here with your weather. We do have an excessive heat warning that's going to remain in effect until Saturday at 8 p.m. The temperatures are going to be pretty high, so take precautions. Stay inside as much as you can. Wear sunscreen. Drink plenty of water if you do need to be outside or if you work outside. And try to get inside in some air conditioning as much as you can. But for today, we're going to have sunny skies. We did have sunny skies. A high of 103 degrees. Our winds coming out of the south-southwest at 4 miles per hour, and our gusts at up to 12 miles per hour. Our pressure did go up there a little bit at 29.98, and our UV index is at 8, very high. Our humidity is at 10%, not very high, and our sunrise was at 6:08 a.m. Our record was back in 1998 at 109. And tonight, we're also expecting clear skies, a low of 79 degrees, and our winds to come out of the east-northeast at 4 miles per hour. Our gusts at up to 8 miles per hour, and our humidity to go up there a little bit at 16%. Our sunset is expected to be at 7:25 p.m., and our record low for today was back in 1947 at 56 degrees. Tomorrow, we're also expecting sunny skies, a high of 105 degrees, and a low of 81 degrees. And for some people in the country, that's their high. Our winds are going to be in the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour, and our gusts at up to 11 miles per hour. Our humidity to be at 13%, and our UV index is looking like it's going to be at 8, very high. Our sunrise is going to be a minute later than it was today at 6:09 a.m. And our 7-day forecast, like I said, Wednesday is going to be pretty high at 105, but Thursday is going to be even higher at 108. So like I said, try to stay indoors as much as you can, plenty of water. And across the board, it's going to be sunny skies, no sign of any clouds there for some relief, and in the triple digits. But the overnight lows are going to go down a little bit there. On Tuesday, you can see we're going to be in the 60s a little bit there, so that's nice. And today's worst weather is in Army Lake, Wisconsin, where they had gusty thunderstorms with hail. Back to you.
And it looks like we have nothing but heat to look forward to for the next 7 days. Thank you for that, Zach.
Thank you very much.
Please be sure to subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter. To subscribe, just visit our website at KPVM.TV and fill in the form right on the main page. The newsletter is filled with top stories, coupons, articles, and more.
And folks, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46. I'm Rick Vale.
And I'm Chase Shropshire in for Rhonda Van Winkle.
And from everyone up here on the Hill at KPVM, we wish you a safe evening, and we'll see you here again tomorrow night. Until then, good night, Rob.
Good night.